A compact battery-powered 200-watt monster. But there's a catch. Here's what they're not telling you. And the winner of the Sony a7S III is... David Nuss of Callaway, Maryland. Congratulations, David. You got yourself a $4,000 camera. So Zhiyun just came out with the X200 light, and I was naturally very excited because, you know me, I like small, lightweight, and powerful. It looks right in line with what I like. It's small, it's powerful, it's got big knobs on it. It's a 200, so that's apparently twice as powerful as the 100, right? Well, let's compare these today, and I'll give you the true Marcus findings as to what's really going on. And we're going to also compare to the Smallrig 220 because that's roughly around 200. So here we go. As you know, the X100 is one of my favorite all-time portable travel lights for being really powerful, really small, really lightweight. And you can use a USB or 110 volt, but it comes with a proprietary battery, which they've fixed. They're much better now than they used to be. So this is it. This is the setup right here. And then you can take the battery off and plug another one in. When you're ready to go, the battery runs for about half an hour. It's really powerful. And it's really, really good. So I like this. This is one of my, it's really, for traveling, this is great. Of course, you never have too much light, right? You always want more powerful, so they just came out with the 200. And I thought, oh, this is great, double the power. Well, okay. It has a Bowens mount, which is really good. It comes with this interesting new style of reflector, which seems to be the new trendy thing that everybody's excited to make now. It's a fresnel, basically, plastic fresnel. And that goes on here, so we're going to do a test reading with that. And on the side, you got your power. Now, since this is a 200-watt, really powerful thing, you can't really run it off of PD100s anymore. You're going to need V-mount batteries. So we're going to test it with a little one and a big one. Or you can plug it in a wall, in which case it comes with one of these power adapters that you slide on there like a D-tap thing, and then you have your cord that goes in that. Now, small and portable is only important when you're traveling, so if I wanted to use it in a studio, I wouldn't care about small stuff like this. I just use big, powerful lights. So this is mainly about traveling. As much power as possible while you're traveling. So I don't need the wall power adapter. I just need to make sure it works with a V-mount. There we go, V-mount battery on there. This is a 99, and we'll also do a 230 here to see what that looks like. So this would be, theoretically, the way to go, right? It's got a nice package here for 200 watts. That's pretty darn good. Very portable, very nice. The X100 is $200 or $280 if you want the battery with it. The X200 is $370, no battery included. And the Smallrig 220 is also $370, so they're in the same price range here. All right, so I'm going to get my trusty light meter, and I'm going to put these 4 feet from the wall and see what the spread pattern's like and how bright they are. I'm going to use the Seikonic light meter ISO 100 T60 at 4 feet, and the X100 comes in at 5.67. So that's our starting point. And yes, the X100 is full power with the battery. Now, the X200 is not full power with the battery. It's only a full power, 100% power with the wall power, and that comes in at 5.68. which is only 1/10 of a stop more than the X100. And that's because it has to go through a thick plastic fresnel, and the LED has a thick frosted diffuser in front of it. So the light has to go through 2 layers of stuff, which takes down the light level considerably. The X100, on the other hand, has raw light with no barriers at all. So the X200 ends up having almost the same light output as the X100, but it has a wider spread, so that takes down the light level a bit. The way it comes out of the box, when you have the wall plugged right into the wall, 100% power, this has got the same light output at 4 feet as the X100 does. If you take this reflector off, this trendy, cheesy plastic thing, and you take the reflector off the Smallrig, now it goes up to 8.08. Now we have a stop more light. Now it's double the power. I know it's small and compact, which is really nice, but you're losing double the power of light that you would get if you're using a real reflector like this. So the little X100 is basically the same output as if you were using this with the 200, but you need a big reflector like this to get a stop more power than the X100. So it's not that small anymore, is it? Now remember, the 8.08 is when it's plugged into a wall. That's full power, 100%. But the whole purpose of having a small little thing like this is for being portable, right? I mean, you can have a big studio light if you're indoors. So battery power is all that really I care about. Let's put a small 99 V-mount on here. Now when you have a V-mount battery on the 200, the power output is only 75%. And I'll get to that in a minute. Now originally I thought, well, is it because it's a small V-mount? Maybe I should use a bigger V-mount. So I used one of the big giant ones like this. I put that on there. It was no different. Same output, only 75%. So it doesn't matter what size the V-mount is, you get the same 75% output, or at least so I thought. I'll get to that in a minute. Now remember, the X100 was 5.67. The 200 with the standard reflector and a V-mount is 5.63. So it's actually less light output than the X100. If you take the reflector off that it comes with and put on the Smallrig reflector, this one, now you're with the battery, it goes up to 8.07. Now you're getting the stop more light, the double the amount of light with the battery, which is outputting only 75% on the light itself. But because of the type of reflector, you're getting double the amount of light now. So now it's outputting more light than the X100. But you need a different reflector on it. Now I know some of you are going to say that reflector looks a lot like the Godox RFT19, and I thought the same thing. Very, very similar. It looks almost exactly the same, but the RFT19, if this is 8.07, the RFT19 is only 8.03. So again, it's not just the reflector, it's what the light shape of the light and how far it sticks in. There's so many factors that affect the output. So with one type of light, this might be the brightest one, but with another type of light like this, it's actually less than the Smallrig reflector. Now they look exactly the same, so there's subtle differences here, but they look almost exactly the same. So the RFT19 is 8.03. I tried some other ones too. The left photo is 8.02. The Neewer 7-inch is 5.66, and the monster of all reflectors, the GVM DR30, is 11.7. This is the Scorcher. This is the one that I mentioned in that previous video. Who wants to take this giant thing when you're trying to travel portable and lightweight, right? This isn't very portable, and the hotspot is kind of small at 4 feet. So ironically, the reflector from the Smallrig is the one that is the brightest on here, and that's what takes it up to double the power. But out of the box, if you use the reflector it comes with, and you're on location and use a V-mount battery, this is not even as bright as this is. Again, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so what about the Smallrig? It's the exact same price as the Zhiyun 200. This is a 220. It's much bigger, it's much heavier, but it's the same price and it's a similar output. If you plug it in a wall, it's at 100% and you get 11.4. That's 2 stops more than the Zhiyun X200 with the plastic fresnel that it comes with. All right, so let's put a little tiny V-mount battery on here, a little 99. So that puts it down to 68% output. With the reflector that it comes with the battery at 68%, you're getting a light reading of 8.08. So that's pretty much the same output as the X200 with the Smallrig reflector. So this reflector is kind of what makes the difference, but again, it's not small and portable anymore. So the Smallrig, the way it comes with the smallest V-mount battery, at 8.08, is a stop brighter than the X200 out of the box using the reflector it comes with. All right, here's the part that they don't tell you, and this is why you're getting 75% with this and 68% with this. Most people, when they think V-mount batteries, they think they're all the same 14.8 volts. They're not. There's actually a second level of V-mount batteries, which are 26 volts, and they're not as common. And that's the battery that they're talking about for you to put on here to get your 100% light, to get to 200 watts. And also on the Smallrig, this also is 26 volts V-mount battery. Now you can put, like you saw in my demonstrations, you can put the small 14 volt ones on here and they work, but you're only going to get 3/4 of the power. That's because these are 14.8 volts. So what happens when you put the 26 volt V-mount batteries on these two lights? Well, guess what? With this giant new 26 volt battery on here and you're getting 100% out of the light, you're only going to get 0.2 of a stop more. That's it. It's really not even that noticeable. Actually, a lot of the reflectors out there are not going to make any difference at all between 75 and 100%. And to add insult to injury, these 26-volt giant heavy batteries, which are really big and heavy, by the way, so you're not really lightweight and small and portable anymore, these things are expensive. They're almost double the cost of the 14-volt batteries. The cheapest one I could find was $250, and the smallest one that you can get at 26 volt is $400. And it doesn't even run as long because it's so small. Now, Zhiyun does offer a power bank where you can take two 14-volt batteries and clip them on each side of the power bank, so you'll get your 28 volts that then clamps onto your stand, which then needs a cord to run up to the light. So now you have more money to spend on a power bank and two batteries, and you've got all that extra size and weight weighting you down in order to make this tiny little portable light work at 100%. And you're only going to get 0.2 of a stop more light from all of that mess. So now you're at about $1,000 just to get 0.2 of a stop more out of this light. So if you're going to be battery powered, you might as well use a little 14.8 V-mount battery, and you're portable, and you're getting most of your power this way, and it is small and portable and easy to travel with. Now, as for the X200 and the Smallrig 220, using the same reflectors, you're going to get the exact same output because they're very, very, very similar in output. Even if you took the reflectors off, they got the exact same output. So in that case, the X200 definitely wins. It's smaller, it's more lightweight, it's more pocketable, portable, and compact. So if you want the most out of your X200 using a small portable 14.8 volt D-tap battery, keeping it small and portable, but as powerful as possible to get double the light output as the X100, you're going to need a big reflector like this, which is bigger, but it doesn't weigh anything. So if size is important, that might be an issue, but weight-wise, this reflector weighs nothing. So any reflector you put on the X200 is going to be brighter than the plastic fresnel that it comes with. If you use the reflector that it comes with, the X200 is not going to be any brighter than the X100. If you take the reflectors off completely and you just have the bare LED, then the X200 will be brighter than the X100. So that means the only time this is going to be brighter than the X100 is if you have nothing on there, or you put it in a softbox, which is possible with the X200 because this has a Bowens mount. Well, some people are going to say, what about the Bowens mount adapter on the X100? Can't you put reflectors and softboxes on that too? Yes, you can, but I made a video about that. The Bowens mount adapter that comes with the X100 snaps on the front and makes the LED recess way back into a hole so the light doesn't even hit the sides of the reflector or the softbox because it creates a funnel of light, a very narrow beam of light, a hot spot. So even with the Bowens mount adapter, the X100 is not that great for using normal reflectors or putting in a softbox. The best way to use the X100 is to just keep the reflector on it that it comes with and just leave it at that. If you want to get creative and use other reflectors and softboxes and everything else, that's when the X200 comes in handy. Now remember, using a 200 watt light with a standard 14.8 volt V-mount battery, you're going to not get to 100% because you need the 26 volts to get a higher output. And you're only going to get 0.2 of a stop more. So you might as well just use the smaller, compact, cheaper V-mount batteries with this. Now, in this situation, with the right reflector on here, you're going to get about the same output as the Ulanzi vl120 bi, which with the small 14.8 volt V-mount battery, the Ulanzi 120 is going to give you 100%. This is going to give you 75%. This will give you 100% because this is only 120 watts. Now, I know 75% of this is 150 watts, but measuring the light outputs, these output the exact same amount of light. So it has most of this, the differences are because of the reflectors, not the actual light. The Ulanzi 120 bi, which is a great light, only costs $120, so that's half the price of this one. So if you want the most value for your money, the Ulanzi VL120 bi, I think is the best deal. You're getting the same output as with the 200. It's not that much bigger. I mean, this way it is, but this way it's not. And then you put a V-mount battery on each one. You're getting 100% from this, 75% from this. Oh, and another thing I forgot about the 200. When you're putting normal reflectors on here, yeah, that's fine. But if you're thinking of putting metal beauty dishes on here or these big giant long throw bowls, you're going to have a problem because the fan vibrates into the bowl and you're going to get a singing bowl. it's going to have a ringing sound. So the from the fan is going to amplify and vibrate through the bowl and go into your face if you're doing a talking video. If you're not doing talking or vlogs or anything like that, and you're just taking pictures, that's fine. But if you're doing video with audio, you can't use the big bowls with this. You can use the big reflectors with the Ulanzi 120 and the 220 Smallrig. They don't vibrate into the bowls. This is stuff nobody else tells you in their reviews because they got their light from the company and they have to make it sound perfect and great, and you're gonna go get excited, run and go buy it. I give you the honest truth about it because I pay for it myself. I don't care. I just buy it and I try it and I tell you the honest review. It's a great light. I mean, it's very well made. It's very, very well made. You got to know how and when to use it in the right situation. Personally, I think I would get more out of using 2 X100s versus 1 X200. You just get more power, more light output. You can have like split up so you have one on each side rather than just coming from one direction. It's more portable. It's cheaper. It's more fun to use. It's simpler. I would just use, I mean, I'm not knocking Zhiyun. I'm recommending 2 100s instead of a 200. That's just me. I don't run and get all excited about the newest, greatest thing. Although I must say this is a great device for being as small and portable as it is. But again, the only way you're really going to get double the power with the 200 over the 100 is to use a big reflector like that, not the reflector that it comes with. Then you're going to get double the power. One stop equals twice the power. So yes, this is more powerful than this if you use the right reflector. The reflector that it comes with is nice and portable, but you're cutting your power in half. So that's what it comes down to. All right, well, I hope you got something out of this. I hope I give you some information that other people are too afraid to give you, but I give you the truth, I give you the honesty. That's Marcus, that's me. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye.